You are listening to Diasporic Music on Black Power 96 with Melinda Francis, Norman Richmond, Lisa Watson on the buttons, and we are joined by comrade of mine, Jay Douglas, who I've known for many years. And Jay Douglas was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and he came to Toronto and went to high school at a famous school by the name of Central Tech here in Toronto. And he is a world traveler. Has been many places around the world, and he's always been a huge supporter of diasporic music, and he supported many things that myself and Melinda has done for years and years. And I'd like to welcome my brother and my comrade, Jay Douglas. How you doing, sir?
We give thanks. I'm blessed. Thanks for having me again. And I says love and blessings to all the brothers and sisters out there in radio land, TV land, every land that's here in diasporic music today. I'm honored to be here with you all.
Well, I guess the first thing we wanted to talk about, we lost two of our Carol Brown was a mutual friend of ours, and we also lost Austin Family Man Barrett, the great, some people say he was one of the greatest, if not the greatest bass players who ever walked the earth, and he joined the Ancestors. I think Family Man was 77, and Carol's age, you don't talk about a woman's age, but Carol we lost our beloved sister Carol. Could you talk about those two individuals?
Yes, Carol Brown, of course, who lives here, born in Jamaica, and she grew until she grew her roots led her to Toronto. She spent a little bit of time in England, but most of her years here, because her mom, her siblings, and her daughter, she's the mother of Jackie Mitu, a great reggae icon, who played with the Scatterlights band that started Studio One. She has a daughter with Jackie Mitu. So Carol was very active in the community for many years. And she had a brush with some form of illness, and she, last time I spoke with her was, I had a conversation with her, was just before Christmas, and her mom passed away while she was in the hospital last December. So she did not even have a chance to go to her mom's funeral, and she's been here for a long time. Very good entertainer, good singer, very, very, very focused sister in her work, in her craft, and also very active in the community. She, but may her spirit, may her soul, rest in power. We dearly missed her. And as for the brother, Family Man, Aston Family Man, oh my goodness. Oldest, I have very, very few regrets in life's journey. One regret I have, as a singer and been in the business for a long time, I have not had the opportunity to work with Family Man in the studio. I didn't get a chance to get a track out of this brother. As simple as it may sound and look, let me give you an example. I hope I'm not saying too much here now.
No, the only problem I'm having, Jay, is I'm having a little problem hearing you. I hope it might be my phone, but
I'm gonna try and speak louder.
You're sounding like you sounding like the king of the whisper. You're sounding very soft. Yeah.
It's the mood and the vibes with these two, the passing of these two.
Yeah, because you're not Smokey Robinson. You're Jay Douglas, right?
J. Douglas, right. So as I was saying, can you hear me better now?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yes.
Sounding good. Sounding good. Very good.
I regret not able to do some work with Family Man in the studio. I've worked with Carl on several occasions, but Family Man. Let me give you an example. The students here in Canada that I've come across or happen to work and communicate with, when I would ask, who's one of your favorite bass players? And they would tell you the first, especially in reggae music, they would tell you Family Man Barrett, Bob Marley's bass player. All, not two of the same, each one would tell you. They would call his name first. That's how much they think of this man. This man is incredible. He was like a tailor cutting a suit. What he did with the Marley's creation, he was right there. Just listen to that bass line in One Love, Three Little Birds, all the bass line in these songs. It's Family Man Barrett that created these bass lines, and they will stay with us forever and ever. God bless his soul.
Let me say one thing about that. He also played bass on a Taj Mahal song, which was a Mississippi John Hurt blues song, "Satisfied and Tickled Too." That's he produced and that by the great Taj Mahal, who's coming to Toronto soon. But that was Family Man playing bass on that track, and he produced that.
That's right. Unbelievable. And when you meet him in person, he's a man of very few words. That's the part. I met him twice in Toronto. He didn't have much to say, Otis. Didn't say too much. You ask a question, that's cool. But he stays with us. His spirit, man. I love listening to this man playing bass. You know, and the creativity that lives in him.
Well, let me ask you before we don't have that much time. Why should people support this station and this radio show?
Because, first of all, my brother, Otis Richmond, I was talking about you not too long ago to somebody. You live in truth, and you're on the right side of town. And this radio station tells truth. It's knowledge. My mom taught me knowledge is power when it's used effectively. And that's the diasporic music station. You're all about telling truth, sharing truth. Tell us who we are and where we're going. If we don't know where we're going, when we get there, we won't know where we are. And playing conscious music. Why? Because music is the international language of joy. It's as simple as that. Music is a therapy, very therapeutic. That's part of the journey with healthy diet, spiritually and physically. We must always stand in line and support truth. And we stand behind this station. We support it. And I do hope each and every one out there share this sentiment. God bless you all. God bless you all. Cast and crew.
Okay, this is Black Power 96.3 FM radio. We are based in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we are on the international wave, the World Wide Web, and we have listeners in from Cape Town to Nova Scotia, and we have a presence in Jamaica. We have roots. We have ties to our comrade Rupert Lewis, the great author Rupert Lewis, who wrote. He's a Marcus Garvey expert, and he wrote a great book on Walter Rodney. We are in contact with Mr. Lewis, his wife Maureen Warner Lewis, and she is a great author, born in Trinidad, and we have we have links with Walde Semayat. Most people know him as Peter Tosh, but if you call him at his hotel, you would have to ask for Hubert Winston McIntosh, Peter Tosh. So yeah, we have a lot of links to the Caribbean and especially Jamaica.
Great. And are you there, my brother?
Yes, sir.
I'm still in here.
You are. You're still.
Oh
here.
yeah, you're still on. You're still. Yeah, we still can hear you. Yeah, you also. Oh yeah, you and you went to school with Robert Chief. I shouldn't say that, but Horace, the great Horace
Robert
Campbell,
Chief,
right?
Horace Campbell. Yeah, we went to school, Barrack School, and also he went on to Cornwall College. Before I go no farther, I'm proud to say I will make a donation to you, to the Black Power station. So
we appreciate that, sir. We appreciate that.
We will speak about that and make sure, and I'm hoping all other artists that are listening can do the same.
All right, I have a tendency to hog the mic. I think Melinda wants to ask you a question. She may have something to ask you.
Before I ask a question, I'll just remind listeners how they can donate. This is our fund drive. Yeah, this is our fund drive, our annual February fund drive. So, if you're ongoing listeners, the station has been under attack perpetually. So we always need support. So go to your keyboard and type in www.blackpower96.org/donate. And tell that you're listening to diasporic music. Our goal is 500, but we always need more. So any amount counts. So again, it's www.blackpower96.org/donate. And so what are you working on now, Jay? Is there anything new coming up?
Yes. Tomorrow evening here in Toronto at the City Hall, we're the recipient of Bob Marley Lifetime Achievement Award for all that I've done in the music, and they're at present they're working on they're doing my movie.
The documentary?
Yeah, documentary.
Documentary?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Jay, you sound like Smokey again.
They're doing a documentary on my life story in the music coming out of Jamaica.
Right.
Up until today, they're still working on that. But what's happening right now, that song that The World is Troubled that was released about 2 months ago, we're getting all kinds of radio play in Europe, Africa, and the reason for doing that song, it was done originally by the late Dennis Brown. The World is Troubled, and it just came out at an appropriate time, so that is taking some attention, and we put every resource that we have behind it. It's on YouTube. Well, thank you guys for playing it, and that is getting some very good attention, and so we're putting some energy there, and still working in the studio with great producer Eddie Bullen. And The World is Troubled was produced by Sly Dunbar out of Jamaica, from Sly and Robbie.
Sly and Rob, my man, Sly Dunbar. I remember touring with him and Peter Tosh. I sat next to him on the bus, and he is a real many Jamaicans are very versed in all types of music. I remember. I'll give you a joke. But the brother, what was the bass player? Charlie Mao, the bass player, the Chinese brother.
Yes.
Yeah, Charlie Mile jumped off the bus. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're talking the bass player from Jamaica.
Yeah, played with Peter. Yeah, Charlie Mile.
Yes.
Charlie, the Chinese brother. He jumped off the bus one time. He was complaining. He says that, Sly and Robbie, they're listening to funk, and Peter's listening to Rachmaninoff, because Tosh is a big classical music fan. People don't know that. Right. And Herbert Miller's listening to Charlie Parker, and nobody's listening to reggae, blah, blah. I never will forget that. Yeah, he was. But I mean, but the reggae artists were always maybe some of the most open people, because Bob and Peter, they had all kind of people from all around the world that they played with,
Right.
Peter had, what's her name? Peter, they had what's the sister's name? From Newark, New Jersey, Gwen Guthrie, right?
Yeah, Gwen Guthrie. Oh, whoa!
Ain't nothing going on but the ring. Yeah.
You should hear that album that Sly and Robbie produced with her. Unbelievable. Yes. But you know what's so interesting? All these great artists from Jamaica and other parts of the world, how much influence United States music culture had and still have on many of us. In Jamaica, a lot of top reggae singers, man. They got all that stuff from Smokey Robinson, B.B. King, all them cats from America. Yeah. Say what you want. Thank you, America. Chuck Jackson, Benny King, Prince. It's spread. Yeah. Marcellus Brothers.
But I think, Brother Jay, we have run out of time because we're supposed to be talking to another brother right now, and I just wanted to say that yesterday was the day that the music died. We lost the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holland, and this is also the 41st anniversary of the passing of one of my favorite singers. A lot of people don't know it, but I love Karen Carpenter. As a songwriter and as a singer, she was the one that wrote that song, Just Want to Be Close to You. And I think Bobby Womack's version of Just to Be Close to You is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life.
All right. And you know what? Don't forget a month ago we lost the great Bernie Pitters, too.
Oh, my God. February 15th, we're having a benefit for him, right?
Yeah, live celebration at Lula. The 15th.
Here in Toronto.
Yeah, he toured with Toots and the Maytals for 12 and a half years. He produced a lot of my songs. The great Bernie Pitters, who was very close friends with Carol Brown, very close friends, and he was very good friends too with Family Man. Yeah.
I remember he toured when I didn't tour. They took me with Peter Tosh when Peter went to Ottawa, Montreal. Herbie Miller, Peter's manager, put me on the bus and, put me up in the hotel and so on and so forth. Bernie was there then, right?
Yes. My brother, thanks for having me, and to you and Lisa, and what's the other lady's name? Forgive me again.
Melinda.
Huh?
Melinda. Thank you for coming.
Melinda and Lisa, God bless you all, and thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoy the Super Bowl next Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, man. I remember when I just got to when I came to Canada. I'm not going to take your time. How did I get interested in football? The Minnesota Vikings, man. Woo! Alan Page, all of them boys. All them boys. Chuck Foreman, Vikings, man. Bud Grant. That's how I started to follow football. Yeah. So I had to get this. God bless you.
Thank you.
Y'all take care.
And thank you, sir. And
Thank you.
Listen to Diasporic Music, and stay tuned for Brother Larry Hamm. We're getting ready to talk to Brother Larry Hamm.
You know the landlord rang my front door bell. I let him ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window and peeped through the blind and asked him to tell me what was on his mind. He said, "Mud, honey, yes, mud, honey, mud, honey. If you wanna stay here with me, I was clean as a screen and so hard pressed. I called the woman that I love best. I finally got my baby about 3:30. She said, "I'd like to know what you want with me." I said, "Mud, honey, 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 mud, honey. If you wanna get along with me." She screamed and said, "What's wrong with you? From this day on, our romance is through." I said, "Tell me, baby, face to face, how could another man take my place?" She said, "Money, honey."
You're listening to Diasporic Music on Black Power 96 with Melinda Francis, Norman Richmond, Linda Watson, Lisa Watson on the buttons, and joining us on the line is the next senator from Newark, New Jersey, Lawrence Hamm, one of our great comrades who has been supporting us since we've been for many, many years. And Lawrence Hamm, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, my brother Norman Otis Richmond. How are you, brother?
Wonderful, as Sam Cooke would say.
All right, and I'm glad to be.
Or as your man Rupert, what's his name? Reuben Hurricane Carter used to say, "Perfect."
Perfect. Well, I'm glad to be on the program today, and I'm glad to support this fundraising effort for the station, which is a beacon of information about the struggles that are going on in communities and throughout this country and nations throughout the world. So it's an honor to be on with you, and I urge all the listeners to do everything they can to help raise money for this station so that it can continue to do its very valuable work in building this movement for racial, social, economic justice and peace.
Let me say this about you, sir. One of the reasons why I have always related to you was because you never were a parochial. I'm not English, so forgive my ebonics. But you have never been a tribalist. Ever since I've known you and known about you, you've always been about the African people in particular. But you've always talked about oppressed people. Period.
Right.
I remember. I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, because we grew up. When I grew up in California, we were always Mau Mau. We loved but I think the first thing that turned me on was the Congo. But we were always into Kenya. The Mau Mau and we were into the Chinese. We loved Mao Zedong, Zhou Enlai, and Chu Te. Chu Te was an army man. And
man, I ain't heard that name. I ain't heard the name of Chu Te from someone else's lips in decades. But he was the head of the military.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, we studied the Chinese like that. They were like we studied the Chinese just as much as we studied Ghana and Guinea, all of that.
Right. Well, I did too, and we kind of come out of similar circumstances, certainly the same movement. And, we have to fight on all levels. I mean, I'm a child of African American people in this country, and I try to be involved in the struggles around the issues related to Black liberation in this country. But, fortunately, I've been influenced by people throughout my life who understood that, of course, it's essential for us to be for African Americans to be involved in the struggle for Black liberation, but we also have to be Pan-Africanists and internationalists. And one of the people I learned that from was Amiri Baraka. And I'm not going to go into the whole history because I've gone into it on your show before, but as a 17-year-old student, I connected with Amiri Baraka and, began reading his works, and he exposed me to other revolutionary writings. And of course, we were all influenced by Malcolm X and Dr. King, but it was Amiri Baraka that acquainted me with the writings of Amilcar Cabral, and Samora Machel and Kwame Nkrumah and other African revolutionaries. And then when you read them, they were saying that they were socialists, and they would, even Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, he wrote about China. He visited China. In fact, there's a famous picture of Dr. Du Bois and Mao Zedong shaking hands, just as I believe there's a photo of Mao Zedong and Robert Williams, the brother who wrote Negro with Guns, Negroes with Guns.
Robert and his wife Mabel in the picture too, yeah.
That's right. So, I learned early on that our struggle for liberation was inextricably bound up with the struggle for liberation of other oppressed peoples. Now, initially, I came up in the Black Power movement when Amiri Baraka was a leader of that movement, more specifically the Black nationalist movement. And so we were concerned about the oppression of Black people and liberation of Black people. And initially, we learned that we needed to have alliances and coalitions with other, as we said at that time, third world peoples, right? Because the language of the day, to describe the worldwide struggle was the struggles of third world people around the world. And then as I became exposed to Marxist-Leninist thought, and also the writings of Mao Zedong, we were introduced to a class analysis, and my perspective was broadened, and I understood that, white working class people, even though they were affected by racism and in many ways blinded by racism, that they too were exploited. And, I began to read Marxist historical literature and saw that there were alliances, at different times in U.S. history between Black people and white people, and later on in contemporary history. And that, in fact, it was communists, many of whom were white in the United States, were white who engaged in many struggles in support of Black liberation within the U.S. and Black liberation, on African continent and other places. So, over time, I gained that kind of perspective. And so I strive to this day to be as non-sectarian as I can, even though I have my own shortcomings in that regard. But, I think basically after I just turned 70 years old, I think one thing I understand now, and I've understood this for a while, is that no one group is going to be able to overthrow the epicenter of worldwide imperialism. That it's going to take the broadest possible coalition of oppressed people and working people and politically conscious people of all walks of life, together in a broad movement whose aim must be social transformation, must be, to move us beyond capitalism and imperialism into a more humane socioeconomic system.
And I think we have run, or we're running out of time, Larry. So I would like to thank you, and we have to bring you back on so you can talk about your run for the Senate situation.
Oh yeah, I'd like to do that. And let me say, as I close once again, I hope everybody that's listening will pledge, will make financial donations. This station is so valuable. It's reaching people all over North America and around the world, bringing the word of struggles within the United States, bringing that to peoples abroad, and bringing to those of us here at home information about people's struggles around the world. So please support this station and keep it strong, financially strong and viable.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Tutal Nana, as they say.
So I just want to jump in and remind listeners, go to blackpower96.org/donate. Our station goal is $10,000. Our show goal is $500. So any amount counts. Please donate.
Getting ready to pay tribute to Max Roach. Max Lamore Roach was.
Can I just interrupt? It's actually
right.
Otis Redding. The Max Roach is not uploaded yet, so you will hear that. But yeah, so it's around Otis Redding.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. So it's going to be Otis, my brother from Georgia.